most incredible piece of duck hunting property I think I've ever stepped foot on.
And we literally drove around White Oak Duck Woods for 6 hours.
I'll put my $2 on it, sir.
Yeah. That just did it.
No.
Go back a little bit. I'm gonna take that last 28 seconds back.
Straight.
Look at here.
Oh my God.
Eric, look through the binoculars.
Dude, there's so many deal out there. It's crazy.
I don't go other places and hunt unless I personally know who's taking care of those places or what I'm getting myself into. So Jeff calls and he's like, hey, me and Keith are down here. Why don't you guys take off and come down to White Oak?
There's certainly no shortage of ducks at White Oak Duck Woods, and that first week of Arkansas opener, that's when Jeff invited us down, and 30 minutes before, Eric bailed out, couldn't go, his kids were sick.
My wife had the flu once, and both Drew and Tinsley had the flu another time, and I just couldn't leave, and it was tough.
So I was on a solo mission to Arkansas, and I got there, and you could tell how dry it was, that's for sure. There was water in places, but Jeff had every power unit going, and just trying to play catch up because, man, it was a dry fall. For sure.
All we'll bring in the boat that you got is the 2 dozen wobblers. The other decoys will leave on the bank. Those are the daily users.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
Dog got my crabbing gloves, and they have taken it out of the yard, and I found them this morning at 21 and frozen. So now I'm with the little leathers. These aren't quite crabbers. It's never a certain thing what we're doing. But as of right now, we're gonna go to the new buckbrush blind. It's never been hunted. And we're gonna give it a couple hours. And if it's not acting quite right, which none of us are expecting for it to be quite right because it's awfully cold. It's about 21 here. And that's cold here in Arkansas. But we've got a backup. And it's better than most backups. If they don't act right there, we're gonna ease back into Jennings Lake. And that sun's gonna hit the decoys about 9:20. And the temperature is gonna be about 40 degrees at that time. And it's all we can do to not just wait till then to hunt. But heck, you can't kill them sitting in there by the fireplace. Got calmed out, hit them again, calmed out, hit them again. They said, "That gun, we'll give it to them."
So as you can tell, there's ducks trading pretty much everywhere and all day long. And that just goes to show you what management practices will do on a farm when almost the entire farm is a refuge, and these ducks get used to knowing that they're not getting shot at. They're going to fly around, and they're going to fly around a lot. And this is a perfect example of just pressure. And, you know, Jeff only hunts 1 to 2 groups. So ducks need, you know, 2 things. They need safety and they need food. And they're getting all of the above.
Drop. Dead bird. Back. In the decoys. Back. There again.
The other thing that's impressive is the amount of ducks that are just everywhere. And I'm not talking about thousands. Yeah, there's thousands by the tower and the rice where he doesn't hunt. You know, when you've got when your refuge is 2,000 acres, you can really, you know, you really do have a lot of ducks at that point. But what a lot of people don't understand is just when you're driving, there's ducks everywhere, like swimming through the woods. Like everywhere you go, there's a dozen here, 30 here, 100 there, 60 there. You know, they won't really, when they see the Bronco or see a Ranger or Can-Am or whatever it may be, they don't really fly. They just kind of scurry off like a bunch of coots from off the road. They just, and
Wild are wild ducks. It's like visiting a zoo. It's, you know, to your left, here's the eagle's nest. Here's 20,000. And to your right, here's the tower. Here's another 100,000. So that next day, the entire Shin crew was going to come down. You know, Carter, Dylan, Byron, all the owners. And, you know, here we go again, deliberating on where we're going. That's one of the coolest and funniest and most comical parts to me is we're sitting around the lodge and Keith and Jeff, they start going back and forth about where we should go. And Jeff's saying, no, that's not going to work. And then Keith's saying, what about this? And then Jeff's saying, you know, it takes hours and hours. And you don't reach a conclusion until usually the next morning about when you're, you know, going to put your boots on for the morning. This morning we decided to go to Jackson Hole. It's a super cool spot in the woods. We had the calling power. We had plenty of guys there. And yeah, we were going to just see what happened.
Where we hunt, I could still leave Gus right there. Yeah, Dylan's in the money spot. All those big trees around there and the boat where we came in. Maybe I'll be the end right here.
Jeff could only stand about 30 minutes in Jackson Hole. And, you know, there's a place called Eagle Lake that's awfully special right across the boat lane. And, you know, that sun was just peeking up, so we kind of hustled over there, grabbed all the decoys, and moved spots.
Started in some place called Jackson Hole. Farmer got pissed off. All we were killing was boxtails. So came to the lake. It's time to go skiing, boys. Cage won't crunch them.
If somebody was telling me I had to go tomorrow and kill a limit of mallard ducks, I'm gonna go to Eagle Lake. The amount of traffic over that place is a spectacle in itself.
Video. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh, that was on video. You'll only have to show that. Right there.
We had a great hunt. Everybody was smiling ear to ear. Nobody was worried about killing a limit because we knew it was going to happen there. As soon as we got in, you know, there was ducks trading back and forth. We just had a bang up, awesome hunt with just an awesome crew.
You know, one thing about White Oaks is when you're driving around, to me it wasn't about the ducks, but just seeing how much work Jeff's done, it's unbelievable, really.
Just the amount of management and man hours and thought that goes behind a farm like this. There's not many people that can comprehend it.
To me, the thing that stood out the most was how much gravel he had hauled, and millions of dollars in gravel. Just to be honest, the road system is, you know, until you get off in the water, of course, but the road system getting around the farm is truly impressive.
This farm is just so diverse. You know, you ride around and there's a rice farm here. There's a big Tupelo swamp here. There's a green timber over there and buckbrush here and willows there, and it never ends. And it's incredible to see.
We get down there Saturday night late. We don't go to the tower that day. Jeff wants to show us where these ducks are eating. So we come around, we go down past the South Lodge and we come around and we're kind of getting around the farm. He's like, we got to get some footage of this tonight, dark. This is the last standing rice we've got. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And these ducks are just feeding right up. You know, they're just wiping just feed line, just wiping out the standing rice. And it's very visual to see when they're eating standing rice. You can see it clear as day. We go watch those ducks the next day. Of course, it's cloudy, no wind. We still have a great hunt. You know, it's like 7:15. We're like, all right, we're over the clouds and wind. Let's go back, eat breakfast, hang out at the lodge. We shot into a couple groups of ducks, and it was a great time. We had a great, wonderful morning. But we get back, and Jeff's like, I got to run home. I'll drive back up in the morning. You guys hang out. And I'm thinking, man, what are we going to do? It's like 9 o'clock, and it's me and Brandon on 5,300 acres. He's like, I tell you what, you boys just go do whatever you want. The keys are in the Bronco, and I literally said that I could drive anywhere I wanted. So he's like, you can go hunt wherever you want. Just go hunt. It don't matter. There's only a couple days of season left. I ain't too worried about it. And I'm like, boy, you done messed up. And my response was, I wonder how much fuel's in the Bronco. But anyhow, we fired that thing up, and we literally drove around White Oak Duck Woods for 6 hours.
Eric at this point was on top of the world like I've never seen him before. First thing he did, fired up the Bronco. We're heading down the scrub road. First thing he does is pull out his phone and he calls everybody he knows to let them know what he's doing. He calls them, he says, what are you doing? Does that little dolphin laugh, you know? Yeah, I'm driving around White Oak with Brad. We're just out here by ourselves, you know? But he literally called everybody in his contacts that would answer.
I checked on every pump he had. I drove down every road that was there, got stuck. We've had over 150 different turbines, and this thing is the biggest darn turbine pump I've ever seen. You know, it was getting dark and we were driving through his refuge. And I opened the door and looked down, and we were in water up to the fender well. And at one point I opened my phone and I was like, man, where's the nearest tractor? So how I was keeping track of how far I was able to go through White Oaks is I just keep measuring on my phone how far the last time we seen a tractor that we could get to pull the Bronco out. So at one point we were about 2.2 miles from a tractor, and we thought, you know, it's about dark, so me and Brad decided it was time to turn around. But needless to say, we had probably seen about 4,500 acres of 5,300 that day, and that was the best thing a guy could have told me. He's like, hey man, here's the keys to the farm, do whatever you want. And there's one person you don't need to tell that to, it's probably me, because I went all over that place. Needless to say, we got our limit. We shot that last duck and we start walking, and for you that have walked in the woods much, or sometimes the ducks kind of see your ripples and and hear the water, and you walking, and boy, here comes the groves of ducks. And we just look up and we're walking out, and there is literally flocks of 50, 100, 150 just flying all around the woods. And it was just one of those deals where it was the right thing to do for sure. You know, pressure-wise, of taking what you can get and getting out of there, and it definitely showed. It was definitely a really good example of the right way to do things. And anyhow, it was a great way to end a weekend of just fun somewhere else. So
the most diverse incredible piece of duck hunting property I think I've ever stepped foot on. And yeah, once again we're just blessed to be able to step foot on a place like that. It was an awesome trip with great guys that you care about, and we can't wait to do it again this year. So